Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. Today is the 1st of April 2022 and this video is brought to you by the market research team at BU Prime. Today we expect the NFP numbers to be announced. How could we trade basically given the current volatility that we expect in the markets? And what else do we have on our economic agenda and what and how to trade using the technical analysis? All of this will be answered in this video. Please stay tuned. Starting with the economic calendar for today, the 1st of April, basically we had some numbers which all turned out negative from China, from Germany, as well as the Great Britain. Basically, we had the manufacturing PMI numbers, and all of those basically came below the expected or below the forecasts that were put in place. So basically for the British manufacturing PMI, it showed around 55.2, which is slightly lower than the expected 55.5. For the German manufacturing PMI, basically it showed at 56.9, while the forecasts were around 57.6. And ending with the Chinese manufacturing PMI, basically it came well below the forecasts, which were around 50. Basically the numbers showed around 48.1. Looking forward, basically in 20 minutes from now, we will be having the consumer price index, which is the main measure for the inflation in the Eurozone. This should be for the month of March, year over year. Expectations are basically around 6.6%. However, my personal expectations is we might basically show or see a number which is slightly higher even than the forecasts, which is 6.6%. Going forward, we also have the non-farm payrolls for the month of March, which is the most important economic indicator of all time. Basically, today is the Friday, the first Friday of April. And that's why we're having the non-farm payroll as well as the unemployment rate. For the NFP numbers, we expect 490,000 new jobs to be added in the US economy, which is slightly or well lower than the previous month. For the unemployment rate, it's basically supposed or expected to show lower at 3.7%, which is lower than the month of February, which came at 3.8%. And we end our trading week with the ISM manufacturing PMI for the month of March for the US economy, which is it's expected to come higher than the previous reading. However, I do really believe that it will show as well in the negative zone and below the forecasts, just like the British, the German, and the Chinese PMI numbers. That was all for the economic agenda for today. Let's have a look on the charts and the technical analysis. Starting with the dollar index, basically, we had a brilliant upward move yesterday from the levels of support that we mentioned during our daily market analysis video. We had this support of 97.90. We had a brilliant upward move. We reached already our first target around the equilibrium that we mentioned, 98.56. At the moment and on the 30 minutes time frame, we can see that it is showing or starting to show some bearish price action along with some bearish momentum here. So we do really expect that during the day we might have a retracement to the downside. However, any pullback or retracement to the downside on the US dollar index should be an opportunity to go long on the short and the medium term, as long as we are trading above the key support that we mentioned, 97.72. Having a look on the euro pound, as we expected, basically this turned out to be a false breakout above the levels of 0.8470. We came well above those levels again. A brilliant downward move basically took place on the euro pound around 100 pips. However, during the day we might also have a retracement or a pullback to the upside to retrace part of the last upward move. And again, any upward move on the euro pound should be a good opportunity to short on the short time frame. Having a look also on the gold trading, basically we reached the first target of 1945 that we mentioned in yesterday's report, and we yet again continue to move in a sideways range between the highs and the lows, between the resistance and the support. So during the day, basically we might see a pullback again to the levels of 1910 for a fifth retest to those support levels during the month. And at the end, regarding the US crude oil, we basically continued the move to the downside. We mentioned in yesterday's report that we are having some expectations that we will be going down to the levels of 94.40, and it's basically going as well as the plan. So thank you very much for this video. That was all for today's daily market analysis. We'll stay tuned for the next upcoming videos during the next week. Please have a good weekend and please stay safe.